All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. It is September 22nd. Markets are off to, looks like a green start from what I'm seeing from a few tech names. NASDAQ right now is up by 0.56%. Pretty nasty fall we saw yesterday. At one point, I think SPY was down like 1.5. Currently trading at 432, when as low as 430.81 yesterday. So pretty rough day. We are seeing a little bit of a pullback in the 10-year yield, but still kind of trying to head up to that 4.5 mark. We did end up going over 4.5 overnight at about like 1 a.m., but currently sitting just under the 4.5 mark at 4.476 currently. We are going to have some data coming out today, this morning, in about 15-20 minutes at 9:45 with the PMI report. So that should have some impact on the yields, which will have impact on the stock market as well. We're going to have global composite, manufacturing PMI, and services PMI coming out at 9:45. So we'll see how that impacts the rates and how that impacts the stocks. Couple of stocks I'm looking at today. Meta, I actually have a leftover put that didn't get stopped out, so we'll keep on watching that. And then what was it? Apple. Looking for like a 2-3 week put with the stop loss up here at 176.50, just because it's been in this range for a while, and I think there's a decent chance that we end up going down to like 170 in the coming days. Looks like that Google trade almost played out perfectly down to 131 at 10 a.m. yesterday, but not quite. Meta's trading at 299, and old Apple's at 174.50 right now. I think the best entry would be close to the 175.75 mark for getting in on those Apple puts with the 2-3 week expiration. And then again, stop loss up at 176.50. We've traded in this range before for a couple days. Looks like 1, 2, 3 trading days in this range, and now we've been in it for another trading day. So likely to have like one more and then break down or go up. All right, markets are open. Everything is in the green. Amazon's doing the best, up 1.5%. Meta's at 299.5. Up 1.3% for the day for Meta. I imagine this is probably going to be resistance between 300 and 301.50 for Meta today. But it is one of the top performers so far this morning. Pulling back just over the 300 level right there. Looks like Google is the worst performer, only up 0.2% at 131.50. Yeah, that PMI report's in about 13 minutes, so again, we need to watch that, see how that impacts the 10-year. If we get over 4.5, that'll send the markets down. That's what the markets are focused on right now. Looks like we got Meta going higher here. Where is Apple trading at? Still at 174.50 on Apple here. Again, I want to see that closer to 175.75 if I want to take a short there. Looks like Meta's trading at 301, top performer of the day now. Nice bounce off of 298. Couple names pulling down into the red. Microsoft down 0.1 and Google's down 0.03, closing in on that 131 level again from yesterday, the lows. Tesla creeping into the red as well. So we're seeing a few names pulling back this morning. It's kind of a mixed market. And there's about 10 minutes till that report comes out. Tesla's down at 255 now. Decent drop. Four option strategy on Google in general. You can use option strat would be I think, the best one. I think that would be your best bet. Looks like we're still seeing Meta, sitting over 300 right now as a support. But we're seeing Tesla, Google, and Microsoft all pulling back. Google's actually under 131 now, so broke the low from yesterday. And 10-year still sitting in the range of yesterday, between 446 and 449. Again, I think if this breaks over 4.5 significantly, we'll have the markets pulling back. But right now, just seeing a lot of back and forth. Amazon's green for the first time in forever. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, the last 2 days have been pretty brutal on it. Has 1, 2, 3 red days. It would have been nice to get in up here when it was trading flat for a put, because that went through basically every single demand zone there was. Google's down at 130.5 now. Let's see, those Google puts are trading for 760 now. The 138 puts. So it's basically just all extrinsic value or intrinsic value at this point. If they're trading at 750 and 750 lower than the strike. Alright, looks like Meta just blew over 301.50 right now. Still waiting on that PMI report to see if that'll shake up the markets. About 6 minutes till that comes out. But we're seeing a decent amount of names in the red now. Half and half. Netflix is red. Wow, Netflix is red again. Seems like Netflix can't catch a break either. Tesla's down 1% now to 252, bottom of the demand zone. I guess it'll probably stay above it until the PMI report comes out in 5 minutes. Where it goes after is going to depend on the report. Meta's all the way up at 302 now. Let's check out the hourlies on each of these. So Meta looks like it's breaking the range that it had yesterday to the upside. In a bullish formation. Amazon still looking a bit bearish with the resistance up close at 131.30 or so. Nvidia's kind of looking the same as Amazon. Hi, welcome. I'd really like to see Apple up at 175.75 or 176 before I take a short there. Google still headed down at 131. Netflix is kind of looking the same. Microsoft almost the same as well. Alright, one more minute till the report's out. Alright, here we go. Pull up the report. Seems like we have a bullish reaction from it so far on Meta here. $50.1 for global composite versus 50.2 last month, so not really much change there. Services PMI came in at 50.2 versus 50.6 expected, so that should actually be good for rates coming down. And then manufacturing PMI is at 49 versus 48 expected, so that is a little bit higher than expected. So either we're going to see the yields pulling back or staying the same, I would think. Let's see. Yeah, 10 years at 4.472, pulling back from 4.478. So no major changes here. So my guess, you're probably going to see Tesla finding support down here at 252.75 for a good day trade. No, the gap was filled for the overnight session. But yeah, your support's going to be at 252.75. So about $1.25 lower. I would probably take profits somewhere in the middle of this range, which would be like 255.25. Unless you get a sharp rebound. But my guess, with the 10-year not really moving much today, even after that PMI report, you're not going to have the markets moving much today either. Meta's really moving up here. Google ended up finding support just under 131, 130 and a half before reversing almost back up to 132 here. Apple's not really reacting much to this either. I'll take the trade light though. It is against trend. Nice. Yeah, I really wish that I had held on to that Google a little bit longer. Those puts ended up going, I think, a little bit more, like 750 a piece at their peak. I sold 310, 400, and 650 divided by 3, 1360 over 3. Sold them for an average of 450 when I could have got 7. So that kind of blows, but still a good trade overall. Netflix seems like it wants to go lower again. The support's at 382, but it's very close to it. Doesn't seem like Netflix can catch any breaks. But yeah, it looks like Tesla ended up catching that support close to 252. Again, my take profit would probably be 256 for that trade, but not in it right now. Should probably get rid of the ATR study down here. Don't really need it. So the 10-year is trading closer to the bottom of yesterday's range than the top. So if we do actually manage to break yesterday's lows, 446, you could have a trigger for the tech stocks to go up. I think the markets are anticipating the drop under 446 now. Let's see, QQQ is still trading under 360. Just a smidge. Ended up going up to 359.92 before rejecting. Do I trade SPY options? No, they don't have enough volatility for me. Not my cup of tea. Alright, there's the break of 446. So yeah, the markets are probably going to trigger to the upside. Meta could be a good one. It's already up 2.9%. So you would be chasing the leader. But usually, if you're chasing the leader and the markets are going in the same direction, that stock ends up doing really well. Yeah, it's right under 446. So I imagine the algos are just going to start buying up tech like crazy after yesterday's dip on the fear of it going over 4.5. I haven't been sending any alerts lately. The only ones have been the Google trades that I was exiting out of the last few days. I'm going to be making more trades next week. Hopefully finding some good swing opportunities like that Google. I'm really liking this Tesla trade. I actually might take this. For a day trade. Yeah, my guess, Tesla ends up catching support here because 10 years dropping. Let's see, the closer you can get it to the lows here, 250, 275, the better, but we'll also try to find any other long opportunities. If Tesla's not out, looks like we're seeing Meta pulling back. Amazon. We're actually seeing a pullback in the market after that drop in the 10-year. That's unusual. Netflix is making another low under 382. That's crazy. Past 2 weeks were unusual. Yeah. Stocks haven't been kind of tracking each other as much as they usually do. So for Tesla right now, it's trading at 254. You want your entry at 252.75 and the stop at 252. Take profit, I would put it 255.5 to 256. Not even getting close to that 252.75 mark though. You're seeing Meta pulling back a little bit at 304.70 to 303. I don't think that we'll see a complete reversal, given the 10-year pulling back at 445 now. The dollar index is probably had a lower with it. Yeah. Google could also be a good one. For next week's expiration. That's kind of weird. This went from 155 to 200 in the last 5 minutes. It doesn't make sense for them to go up that much though. No, Tesla's getting back up to 256, so can't really call it bearish here. So yeah, that solid support just under the demand zone. Now it's back in the middle of it, probably up to 256. Do I think that it's a bullish past the demand zone? Probably not. I mean, interest rates are still higher than they were. So it's still going to weigh negatively on tech. Because they were expecting the Fed to back off their rate hike campaign for the end of the year. And they moved the 2024 projections up by 50 basis points. So I still think that tech has a decent way to pull back. But I think that it's going to require the 10-year going over 3.5 in order to keep sending us down. So any data next week will probably impact the markets in a decent way. But I think that 10-year break in yesterday's range to the downside will be bullish for today at least. So you get about a double top at 304.40 for Meta here for price action at least. It's still up 2.5%, so it's still doing hot. Still by far the biggest gainer today. Next up is Amazon at 1.25. Yeah, Meta's very popular today. I mean, when a stock's up, a mega cap is up 2.5%. It usually triggers people to start going crazy. I don't see why it wouldn't continue to head higher. Only reason being would be that it's already up 2.5%, but if it's a green day for the Qs, Meta will keep on going. Probably up to like 3-4% up for the day. Hi, LJ. Yeah, Q's just kind of chopping around this morning. My guess would probably be more downside to come with the higher rates. But maybe we've already experienced all the downside we're going to get from 370 to 360. Amazon's pulling back real heavy on this 5-minute candle, breaking down under 131. Ten-year still standing its ground at 445, but still seems to be headed lower. So now you're getting some stocks at a decent discount if you want to go long for the day. Say your best bullish opportunities. Can't really count on Netflix, I don't think. Right now, at least. Again, Tesla at 252.75 with a stop at 252. Maybe you could go Microsoft with a stop loss at 318 or like 317.75. Google looks like it could be a good one with a stop at like 131 and some change, 131.80. But we're seeing a decent pullback across the board right now, so if we continue that direction, you would be going against trend. But yeah, I don't see really any good opportunities for today, so I will head off and I'll catch y'all on Monday at 9:30. See you, everybody.